Excuse me. Excuse me. What a pig I am, I guess. I just had a baked potato. I like baked potatoes. I cook that in the microwave. I usually cook it in the microwave. Sometimes the oven. That wasn't a mistake. I knew I turned the camera on. Or, I'm going to adjust these at the top. One thing I think the time should be, instead of being 6:13, and then the date, I think it should be the date and then followed by. So I need to, I don't need to, but that's one of the things I'm going to do. That's the Avery Media camera, and there's very little space here at the end of my two monitors. It kind of looks, let's see. Nope. How do I get over there? Go over there. I can't get down there. This, in the lower right-hand corner right here, this is a monitor. But, you're getting some reflection off of it. Both of these are LG monitors. And let's go over here. And I will open another. I'll open it here. Except it's over here. So let's bring it over here. And so this is the on my right hand or whatever, if that makes any sense. I've still complained, but I'm probably right, that I just think that CNN does too much advertising. I've had several of you say, well, they have to make money to pay, I don't know what the difference is between yams and sweet potatoes. I guess I could find out that way. Then they'd probably want to sell me a bushel of sweet potatoes or something. If you want to move, I'd love to move out of the United States. And you can thank the former president, Donald Trump, for that. But I'm too old to be moving. I have trouble moving around the house. So. Inside the world's best and sexiest hotels for 2024. Well, I won't be doing that. Meet the only woman living on an island of criminals. Oh, I didn't know that Trump had an island. I'm sure that's what they're talking about. Let's see. Oh, 2024 voting is about to begin. It's the primary elections. That's for picking people who are going to be the party's, nominee to run for the party. And I think Donald Trump is going to be the head of the Republican Party. I think they deserve each other. So he'll be running for president. They've shown that, I think the same one before, for some reason, this former criminal drags an injured police officer to safety. I guess they really liked the story or something. It's funny how people collect things. I've collected postage stamps, coins a little bit. What else? I was tempted to say girlfriends, but then you all would have been laughing. Oh, Jim. No, you didn't ever, I think I collect keyboards, computer keyboards. Does that count as something? And sort of monitors. That's what I wanted to. That's why I moved over here. Okay. Both these monitors are set at 2560 or 1440. I switch from time to time. I try to come up with, and I've asked, none of you guys answer really. Well, maybe you did, but especially I'm interested in somebody that has a big screen TV or just a regular television, and they're doing, doing YouTube on the pulling stuff. How well it looks, and big, whatever. And I switch around, and I'm not sure I've learned much about it. Oh, I wonder if I switched over here. Did I? Let me go over here and click on this. Okay, wait a minute. Let me close this. Yeah, what the heck is this? Let me close this. Let me go back here. Yeah, I'd like to change the, anyway. No, I can't get over there. How come that? What is this? Okay, this is the bottom right. Okay, I'm touching it now. Okay, I'm not actually touching the screen, but, that's the monitor. And then you can see the next, they're pushed together. So here's the other monitor that's over here. And the microphone seems to be, well, at least the bar is working. There. I spent about 24 hours trying to get the microphone to work the microphones to work properly. I do not know why I had so much trouble. I'd like to have a new computer. I gave up on the idea of Apple. I wonder what's on my list right now. Let me go to let's go to Amazon. And let's go to list. Here's my wish list now. Oh, I'm going to do a speed test, by the way. Again, you guys will hate that. You're tired of it, but anyway. By the way, this brand new Dell computer looks good. But I also like those mini computers, the B-Link and that type of stuff. So I'd be happy with either one. This, by the way, I think I'm using this very one, I believe, except inexpensive one. Maybe it was $25 or whatever. But um, I think this would make. See, my computer's in my bedroom. At the other, then you leave my bedroom, and on the left is my son's room. You go straight ahead, and you're in the living room, and then in the corner of the living room, up on a shelf, is the internet cable coming in and hooked up to the hardware. And I'm going to do a speed. Okay, I'll come back to here. I'll try to make this, because several of you mentioned, please stop the speed test. They're tired of seeing it. But I've just switched. Well, I guess I could say to a new company, but I was with them for I don't know how many years, a whole bunch of years. Oh no, going to be slow again. Um, huh. Um, I've got I can show it to you because it's over here. Let me close this and go to go over here. Now I need to go where the camera is. So here is this is hooked into the USB. And it makes an improvement. Well, it sure didn't make an improvement just then, but it makes an improvement. And I think this cost about, actually took me about 6 hours to figure it out. The internal card for networking, broke. And it took me 6 hours. I was trying to, what's wrong with it? Fine. And I just happen to have this around in one of my boxes, hooked it up, and it's worked. It's working really well. Not working really well right now, but this other one, this one here, it's got really great, the numbers and everything look really good about it. And so whatever. So that's on my wish list. I have two of these tables. I think it's the very same one that I'm using as a desk, and then over here, this has been moved quite a, this is oh, you can't see me. Sorry about that. Where are you? Oops. And this is the desk, or what do we call it, shelf thing or whatever, that's right there. Right now there's nothing really on it that matters, but underneath it I've got a bunch of stuff shoved in there, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, see the microphone, doesn't. It's responding okay, but it could do a little bit better. But I've got good microphones. I mean, considering that, that they're This hat, in case it says showmeblog.com. Didn't cost very much money. I had that put on there. Didn't cost very much money. Then I ordered a T-shirt has my picture. It has a screen save, I think, what it is, of the, and it says showmeblog.com. But I got small because I was at YouTube's site and was, figuring out what picture I wanted and what, where I wanted to put showmeblog.com, and so when I was having to design it, which is very easy, and it was inexpensive, really inexpensive. I was surprised. Um, but I was clicking on, larger or smaller and that type of, for the image. And so then I went ahead real quickly and, clicked, pay and send. And then I realized, no, I didn't pick, an extra large or something. I picked a small one. So I've got a small one that I can't wear, or nobody around here can wear. And so this whiteboard, I have two of them, this one here, and then there's one there. And I'm thinking about the one that's there on that wall, moving it now, back here. This one has things that let's see. It just has, postage stamps, which I bought some of the ones here in the United States. You can buy them. I'm not sure how you'd say it. They you can buy them, and when they raise the postage rates, they'll go ahead and since you bought them and already have them, you can go ahead and use them. There's my thing from Social Security, my retirement money. I don't have to use that very often. Well, I'd say almost never. But you need to keep that, because if you apply for any type of benefits, like food stamps, there's special things, and you're going to have to show that to how much you make, how much you're making. I've got one of these decal things that says recording in progress. It doesn't work. And at the very top is a thing. I worked for Burns. I worked for a lot of companies. There's a thing there that went on a wall, maybe in a bank or something like that, or outside on the front, maybe not the front door, but that it says, and I worked for Burns and I worked for Pinkerton, but I just went ahead and ordered those off of eBay just for the hell of it. Says warning, protected by William J. Burns International Detective Agency. Then it has a number. Offices in principal cities of the world. The one below that says warning, protected by Pinkerton. Back in the early days of the United States, there really wasn't, in the beginning, I'm thinking about some movie, The Pecos, that was in Texas or whatever. The Burns Detective Agency and the Pinkertons were like your law enforcement, or whatever. Pinkerton was looking for Jesse James for one. I mean, they were looking for everybody, but Jesse James and the James Gang. Let's see. I think the Pinkerton had the contract, I believe, with. And by the way, I already said that I worked for those companies. Which is not something you should be proud of to say, I think, I take that back, anyway. I think Pinkerton had the contract for the railroad system, and they had signs up, on protected by Pinkerton, and I think that was to discourage some people, and I think it actually did. I think there was some bad guys out there that thought, no, we don't want to rob, the trains because they're protected by Pinkerton, and then they'll have detectives out here, trying to find us. And so they would go with some, and then I think Burns had the bank, so it was the same way with that, Anyway, there's a ruler up there. There's a magnetic thing that has Nixon shaking hands with Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley drove up to the White House to see the president. He didn't call ahead or anything. He showed up at the White House gates, and the uniformed security people for the, White House. I guess they called inside, oh, Elvis Presley's out here. What do we do? And what do we do with him? And the chief of staff or whoever was in there, taking the, what? Elvis, what's he doing out there? Well, he came to see the president. And luckily, the president or the chief of staff or whoever, okay, well, send him in. So he went on in. They shook hands or whatever, and I'm sure, so, by the way, Elvis was doing drugs big time. But he told the president he'd like to get a badge, that he'd like to be able to, uh, have a badge, for narcotics division or whatever, so he could, I mean, the whole thing was comical. And anyway, that's a true story. When you see it in the movie, if you see it in one of the movies, you're probably going to think, it didn't happen. It did. There's, I've seen some things where they talked about, how it went, how it happened, like, the President of the United States, telling the Chief of Staff or whatever, Elvis wants a badge. Get him a badge. Probably afraid he's going to go out and say, well, this president's no good, He wouldn't give me a badge. And I'm sure probably Elvis went around when he went back to his buddies who were doing drugs, and he was doing drugs and everything else. I'm sure he's probably telling them, I could arrest you, I'm a narcotics agent. My folders up here for my eye surgery that I'm going to have, they ophthalmology associates, and I'm sure probably other. It's really well, it's a folder, and inside are the dates, times, what I have to do, that type of stuff. It's really well organized. Especially I need it. Maybe since I'm probably dealing with a lot of old people. Maybe that's why they came up with that. I'm sure they didn't originate it, So I'm not sure if I want to move. This whiteboard, there's these little things that stick up, so it's just easy to put it in. That one there, if I move it, it doesn't have these little hooks that you can hang it from. You have to put the screws, in the wall at the appropriate distance. I have to get out my tape. I have several of them. I have, my tape measure thing. I have to make sure I get the screws in the right place. Yeah. I don't feel up to it right now, so I think I may just leave that there. I could buy another one, but maybe 3 whiteboards are, maybe that's too much. Maybe that's overkill. Oh, there's also the bill up here for $87. I think it says that's the final bill for come on here. Verizon, I canceled them. And they sent a box, and I used that before. It worked great before because I've been signed up for them twice. I talked about that, so I won't go through that again. I would love to index things better, and YouTube would like us all to, index so people could jump, You could start watching this, and it could be Jim Howard just talking about nothing, and then there'd be maybe a link or a place you could click and say, Jim Howard talking about XYZ antenna or Wi-Fi antenna or something. That's what they want, and I don't blame them. because I have more trouble finding something than you guys probably do. Let's see, how long have I been talking? Um, Whoops, that's not it. Well, I'll just go to where? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Uh, Here we'll go. I'll go there. Oh, I'm already there. No, I'm not. Um, well, I'll just minimize this. If I disappear, you'll know why. Let's see here. Okay, let's see if I move this over here. No, where am I supposed to be clicking? Let's try this. No, that's not it. Oh, come on. Hmm. Well, I guess I'll just sign off from here. uh, Now that after I spent, I think 24 hours trying to, a day that I couldn't get my headset to work, maybe this would be a good time for me to go and try uh, what you all want me to try. I'm thinking UPS, and that's not it. um, OBS. That would make some of you happy. I may mess with. I may watch a movie or something. Um, I hear them starting to pound and talk in the other room, so this is a good time for me to quit. Shut this down, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to want to work on OBS or something else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.